Welcome to a very special day for the city of Denver, and what more perfect way to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Ball Arena. City Council approved a transformative 55-acre development around Ball Arena, the home of the championship tenants, the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. Welcome inside Ball Arena, Katie Winge and Chris Dempsey. And Chris, this is obviously very exciting news for the city of Denver, very exciting news for Denver sports fans in general. When you think about what this will look like down the road, what makes you most excited?
Well, look, I think this is about sports franchises. They're in a community, right? But they're also part of a community. And, you know, the thing that Stan and Josh Kroenke have been really, really good at and very in tune with since day one is not just being in a community, but enhancing that community in every way they possibly can through good works. Now, when you look at a project like this and the jobs it will create and the affordable housing that's going to be there as well, like that's being a part of a community, that's enhancing the picture. And so this is a very big day in terms of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the details.
All right, for more on this development, let's kick things off here at Ball Arena for the press conference.
For 25 years, Ball Arena has been one of America's finest sports and entertainment venues, hosting thousands of events, from world-class concerts and shows to the most unforgettable moments in sports, such as the NBA and Stanley Cup Finals. As home to 3 championship teams, the Denver Nuggets, Colorado Avalanche, and Colorado Mammoth, Ball Arena will continue to bring the very best to the region. Ball Arena, 25 years of memories.
Hello everybody, Vic Lombardi from Altitude Sports. So happy to have all of you here for this historic day, this momentous day in our beautiful city. Having been born and raised in Denver, I remember this before Ball Arena was here. 25 years old, this place is 25. I remember 35 years ago, there was nothing here but a parking lot for those of us who waited in the line at Thirsties across the way here. And now look at this place. And look at what it's going to become. You're going to learn about what it's going to become shortly. I just think it's so cool that sports has shaped and will shape a city the way sports has here in Denver. We'll get it started by hearing from our vice chairman of Kroenke Sports, everybody. Please welcome Josh Kroenke.
All right. Thank you, Vic. It's good to see everybody here today. As Vic kind of mentioned, this is a very special day for myself and my family. Nearly 25 years ago, we purchased this iconic building that we're all standing in, as well as its 2 beloved teams, the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. We now have 3 teams that play here, as was shown in the video just a few moments ago, the Colorado Mammoth being the 3rd. And it's very pleasing for me to say that since its opening, all 3 teams have winning records here at Ball Arena. Since its opening, exactly. Since its opening, Ball Arena and our incredible fans have become synonymous with an almost unbeatable home court and home ice advantage. With both Nuggets and Avs, I believe, boasting the best home records in their respective conferences over the last several years. So thank you to all the amazing fans out there that have helped make this place a fortress over the years. But more important than winning records, though, are the championships. The Avalanche have won 2 Stanley Cups. The Mammoth have won 2 NLL championships. And, of course, the Nuggets came through for their first title in franchise history in 2023, all here in this building. Each of those milestones were some of the most memorable moments of my life. I hope they were for countless others as well. And all credit for those championships goes to our amazing players, our coaches, and our front office executives who put in tireless hours behind the scenes, putting those teams together, and through hard work created memorable moments and championships for all of you out there. So thank you to them. As you can tell, I am very proud of what we've accomplished here, but none of this would be possible without all of the thousands of people who work here on event nights. They are the folks who really bring this building to life for every concert, game, and other event that all you amazing fans and supporters come down to see here in town. They're the ones who create lifelong memories for you, help create these events safe for you, and I really can't thank them enough for all of the efforts that they've put in to help create what the ball experience is for all of you out there watching right now. They will also help make what Ball Arena is in its next chapter. I say next chapter because as proud as I am to stand here and tell you about what we've accomplished, I'm also here to tell you that it's only the beginning, because we have so much more to look forward to on this property and around the city of Denver as a whole. Ball Arena, this amazing venue that brings our community together to create memories that last a lifetime, is going to remain here for a long time to come as the heart of an entirely new neighborhood built on top of what is now acres and acres of parking lots surrounding the building. This development is going to create thousands of new jobs and opportunities for many Coloradans, as well as be a vibrant part of a transformation that we see all across downtown Denver today. I'd like to personally thank Mayor Johnson, the City Council, and the people of Denver for trusting us with such a massive project. I would also like to thank our team at KSE as well, as I know there have been countless hours devoted to this project already, and I know there will be countless hours devoted to it in the future, so thank you. I've been fortunate in my professional career to have combined two of my passions as well as my father's, which are sports and real estate. Much of what we've been able to do in other areas such as Los Angeles with SoFi Stadium and the Hollywood Park development, as well as other locations around the country and the world, this project will bring together our expertise in sports and real estate development in a way that will help us deepen our connection to the city and the community as a whole as we continue to impact the region. Thank you all again for being with us here today, because this is a very special day for us at KSE and hopefully across all of Denver as well. Thank you very much.
And now we're going to peer into the future. Take a look at these video screens.
The redevelopment of Ball Arena's surrounding area means an exciting new future for downtown Denver. It's a future based on connectivity. Connections between teams and their city. Connections between neighborhoods. And most importantly, connections between people. On this footprint of what is now parking lots, KSE envisions an inspiring new neighborhood, carefully planned through community engagement. Pedestrian and bike-friendly bridges will make this mixed-use district accessible from every side, spurring new activity in nearby neighborhoods. While Ball Arena and its championship teams will serve as the area's beating heart, its nerve center will be at Public Park, adding picturesque green space to Denver's vibrant downtown. At least 18% of new housing will be dedicated to affordable residences. And anchoring it all will be Ball Arena, with more than 200 sporting events and concerts per year. The future of Ball Arena is a connection to the future of Denver.
None of this happens without help from the mayor's office and, of course, Denver City Council. please welcome to the stage a passionate sports fan. I see him at a lot of Nuggets games, the mayor of Denver, Mike Johnston. Thank you all. This is a historic day for Denver, and it is a historic day for sports fan. Vic, you and I have been around for a lot of seasons. I think this may be one of the most important days for sports fans in Denver history. And that is because Josh was kind enough to allow me to make the grand reveal, which is in addition to what you will see as the vision coming for this neighborhood over the next 25 years. Today, we will also finalize the commitment that the Nuggets and the Avs will be calling Denver home until the year 2050. So that deserves a major round of applause. That means another 25 seasons of Nuggets basketball. That means another 25 seasons of Avs hockey. That means, gosh, at this rate, probably 8 more MVPs, probably 3 to 4 more titles. That's just at our current pace. And so when we think about how much we love these franchises and how much they bring joy to this city and this state, this is an incredible moment. I couldn't sleep last night, actually. I was so excited to get to this podium this morning. We've been working on this for a year. The council's been working on it for multiple years. You're going to get to hear from the 2 women who made this possible from the City Council in a minute. But I just want to say both it's an incredible day for sports fans, but it is also an incredible day for the city, which is right now, as it stands, this arena is one of the most important economic drivers in Denver. We're talking about 90 to 100 nights a year right now that we have tens of thousands of people coming to downtown Denver to eat, to drink, to shop, and to live, work, and play for these events. They are at the heart of what makes the city vibrant. For us to sign up for 100 more nights of that for the next 25 years is transformational. And that would be something on its own. But what's even more impressive is the vision that KSE has and we have in conjunction for what this neighborhood can be. We talk about sometimes the central business district as not just being a business district, but being a neighborhood district. That is also true for what has been this sports district. Our shared vision is to say this is not just a place, as Josh was referring to, where you can come and see a great game, but there'll be a sea of parking lots around them. This will now be a fully activated neighborhood where folks can live, they can come play in a park, they can come see concerts, and yes, you can walk into and out of 3 of the best sports franchises in the country, all in the same location. I will add, by the way, one thing I'm very proud of. I saw the mayor of Los Angeles last night. I reminded her, we are the only city this century to ever have a reigning NBA and NHL MVP in the same city at the same time. That deserves a round of applause. Josh deserves a round of applause because this is the only city in history to have a reigning NBA and NHL MVP by the same ownership group. And so that is even more impressive. The last time that happened was LA by folks you probably haven't heard of before, Wayne Gretzky and Magic Johnson. So I feel like we're in pretty good company if that's what we're signed up for the next couple of decades here. And so I just want to say how grateful we are for their partnership, what we think will be an incredible new chapter for Denver. What you'll see in this plan is not just what is possible on this site, but how this site connects us to the rest of the neighborhoods, how it connects us to the existing downtown, how it connects us to the Auraria campus, how it connects us under I-25 to the west side of Denver so that we have a connected, unified living, playing, working experience for all the downtown neighborhoods. This, we think, will be one of the great transformational moments in the city. You think about the first idea for lower downtown 30 years ago, how it's changed what happened to downtown. The vision for this site will be the next generation of what activates a new part of the city where our kids and grandkids will be playing and enjoying sports and public spaces and beautiful places to live many, many decades to come. And so thank you so much to the team for KSE for making this possible. Thank you so much to our partners at the City Council. I am delighted. I think, Vic, am I introducing Council Torres? Or are you supposed to do that? Well, I'll let you do that. I will just say that the 2 women you're about to meet after Vic introduces them are the 2 women who have been working at this longer than I have. They were visioning the process of this site even before I became mayor. Both of their leaderships as council presidents have made this transformational day possible. I love working with them every day for reasons like this. They dream big and they deliver on the hardest and most ambitious of stuff. And so can't wait to hear from them. But thank you to the 2 of you for making this possible. I'll give it back to Vic. He wants to do so much. Now he wants to handle the introductions as well. You know, this plan doesn't come to fruition without clearing a lot of hurdles, and it's gone through a lot of meetings. Last night, of course, we hear City Council passes the notion, and here we are today. So thank you very much to the Denver City Council. First up, representing District 3, City Councilwoman Jamie Torres. Come on up.
Good morning, everyone. Building a neighborhood from asphalt is not an easy feat. And to do it in a way that has intentionally included resident and stakeholder input and voice is even harder, because you have to negotiate, you have to be pushed, your box has to get bigger, but it is absolutely the right thing to do, and it's what led to many unanimous votes last night in Denver City Council. I'm Councilwoman Jamie Torres, and I'm proud to represent West Denver District 3. I am also a descendant of family members who used to call the Auraria neighborhood home. Redistricting is what put Auraria neighborhood into Council District 3, and it became part of our family of neighborhoods just last year. I want to start by thanking the Community Benefits Agreement Committee. So this is a group of volunteers who gave upwards of 15 to 18 months of their time and energy to a monumental agreement for this project. It included the Auraria Higher Education Council, CU Denver, CCD, MSU, American Indian Commission, and several of our neighborhood organizations, including Jefferson Park, Lower Downtown, Sun Valley, and Lama Lincoln Park. There was never a question that this site would include affordable housing. It's what we've been building policy around in Denver City Council. But what kind and for whom would this be accessible? And to folks at the end of the day, to folks exiting homelessness, to people thinking of buying their first home in Denver, to people who have been pushed out of other neighborhoods, being able to come back because of our prioritization policy, all of these things come to fruition on this really innovative and visionary project. Jobs for local residents, permanent jobs, construction jobs, youth programming. I see youth on record in the crowd today. They were a big part of this. A child care facility. I've never seen the inclusion of a large child care facility included in our major development projects. That's huge, because that tells us this is for families in addition to people who want to come to games or be downtown or visit restaurants. And a $16 million community impact fund. This will be funded over the lifetime of the project and will go to things like housing units, internships, fellowships, incubation for small business. This has the dreams of a lot of different community members and organizations built in. And I want to thank KSC, I want to thank the Kroenke family, because it was your willingness to engage in this as a voluntary agreement with the community, not with the city, to say we will deliver this because it's important. You don't build a community in isolation. It does not grow, it does not prosper, it is not vibrant without connecting it to the surrounding neighborhoods. And we are surrounded by infrastructure, we're surrounded by a river system. All of these things matter to what is ultimately built. And I am grateful to the community who invested their time, to the residents, and to all the city staff who put in years of work into this. This is a really wonderful thing, and you're right, Mr. Kroenke, we are trusting you. So thank you very much. I'm really proud to have been part of helping inspire this, and it certainly could not have happened without my partner in all things Good Trouble, Council President Amanda Sandoval. So thank you to you too. Thank you. Thank you, Vic.
Thank you, Councilwoman Torres. So cool to see our city thrive and to shape a different city moving forward, and helping shape it as well, as you mentioned, was the City Council President. Let's bring in Councilwoman Amanda P. Sandoval.
Thank you all. I'm Amanda Sandoval, and I represent Northwest Denver District 1. Not just far, it's right over on the other side of I-25. Lifelong resident of Northwest Denver. And as I was thinking about what to say here today, sometimes you just have to start at the beginning. So in 2012, I was a council rep aide, and Councilwoman Montero represented this area. And then in 2015, my predecessor also represented nearby. And the first time that I got to really think about Ball Arena was in 2016 when we started the Downtown Denver Amendment to the neighborhood plan. And we started visioning what could the area down on Platt Street, on Water Street look like, what could Elitch's look like, and what could Ball Arena look like. There's a view plane that many people don't understand what that is. It's a view corridor that's protected, and this property happens to be in the midst of the view corridor. And we had lots of really long conversations from 2016 to 2017, 2018 to when that neighborhood plan was adopted. So today I feel as council president, it's come full circle for me. And not many times in our lifetime do we have that opportunity to actually really start from a process at the very beginning and then be council president and be able to usher in these 4 rezonings that I was able to preside over last night that are really historic. They really are. When you think about a community benefit agreement and you think about all of the people who had this land, who are here before us, and we're giving back. And thank you to the Kroenke family for showing that you actually put your, it says you can say a lot, but actually doing and having it codified is something that I believe in as someone who studied land use. I also just want to say thank you to Councilwoman Torres. She allowed me into every meeting. She allowed me to press really hard questions. She allowed me to really dig in. When there were questions about land use, I said, I need more analysis. I need this analysis from city staff, so thank you to the city staff for allowing me to dig in. And I think it was about May of this year that I called, at the time I was pro tem, I called President Torres, and I said, I have this idea. We have the Platte River in Denver, and we've never had a focus on the Platte River in my lifetime. It's always been a back door. How can we make it become a front door with all of the redevelopment that's happening in Denver, starting at the Stock Show, starting at River Mile, Ball Arena, all the way down to Sun Valley? And I said, what if we started a river committee? What if we started, for the first time ever in Denver history, the South Platte River Committee? And in a transition of power from me becoming pro tem to council president, I appointed Councilwoman Torres as the chair of the South Platte River Committee. And it just so happens that we have 7 exact colleagues who represent the South Platte River. And this, for the first time ever, had to come through the South Platte River Committee and not our land use committee, which actually frightened people in Denver. What was going to happen at this river committee? What was this river committee about? And it's about dreaming big, like Mayor Johnston said. It's about looking at all of our resources in Denver and utilizing them and being sure that we're stewards of that land. So just want to say thank you to KSC and your team. You had hours of meetings with Councilwoman Torres and myself, and allowing me to push you and go back and forth in a really respectful narrative, even though sometimes we may not have agreed. You understood that we had to represent our community. Thank you to the city staff for all of the hours that you put in and letting me push you and say, I need another analysis of the land. I don't agree with this analysis. Can you get me this data? And thank you to our community. One of my community's neighborhood associations, Jefferson Park, is part of this association, part of the community benefit agreement. And it really does matter when I go back into my community as a mom, as a person who has owned a restaurant in my neighborhood forever. People ask me about these deals, and they look for reflective representation. And that's what we were able to do through this last night. And lastly, thank you to my colleagues. Thank you to our colleagues for allowing us to explore and push for a really historic deal that will really be catalytic for the history of Denver. And thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you, Amanda. Northside Pride. Hey, that'll do it for our press conference. But for those of you who want to gather around, we have our first shovels go in the ground when we cut that cake right there, celebrating 25 years of Ball Arena. Many of you in the media want some follow-up questions. We'll have Mayor Johnston available, as well as the Senior Vice President, Project Management and Development, Matt Mahoney. So stick around for follow-up questions with them. Signing of the ordinance as well will be done with Mayor Johnston and company. So thank you all. Hope you're as excited as we are about the future of Denver.
I mean, incredible. When you think about what it looks like around Ball Arena right now, a bunch of parking lots, a bunch of asphalt, to think 25 years, what this place is going to look like. As someone who's been a part of the community, Chris, what is this going to do for the people of Denver?
It's going to be huge. It's one thing to plop a stadium or an arena in a situation. It's a total different thing to imagine and reimagine what a space can be used as, and include, housing. Just include the public in that. This is a hug around the city of Denver is how I view it. And look, to have affordable housing, to have a park space, to have childcare, these are huge, huge, huge deals. And what a day in terms of this is a space that wants to be renovated, but it's being renovated in the most thoughtful way.
All right, we heard from Mayor Mike Johnston already, but we're going to bring him in right now. The avid sports fan, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us a little bit more today. We have just been so impressed by how much this is community-based. It's not just about the fans. It's not just about sports. What do you envision the community looking like 25 years from now around Ball Arena?
This is going to transform the city. This is going to be the future of downtown Denver. Is going to think of all the things that Lodo did for Denver 25 years ago. This is an entirely new neighborhood built around and activated both sporting complex, but also they'll have theater here, they'll have music, they'll have public parks, and as you said, they've done it with a historic commitment to community. The city requires us to build about 12% of affordable housing on a project. This has 150% of that. It's going to be closer to 18%. Be one of the most ambitious projects for affordable housing to say, yes, we want a great activated downtown space, but we want it to be for everybody. And so we couldn't be more excited about what's coming, both in terms of the franchises staying here until 2050, but also in terms of what people will see as a transformed neighborhood that I think will be the new design for stadiums around the country, as no one wants anymore a stadium with 80 acres of parking lots around it. You want a bar you can go to, a restaurant you can hang out in, a store you can shop in, and an apartment you can live in. This will have all those.
Yeah, well, look, it's not even just about the bars and the restaurant. It is about those spaces that people can live in. And why was the community aspect of this so important?
This is a neighborhood at the heart of downtown, and it's a neighborhood that's had a hard history. There was a community that was here once that was displaced by the building of the Auraria campus, and so we want to make sure those families that over the years have gotten pushed out of downtown feel like they can come back to downtown. So that's why affordability was so important, accessibility was so important. And as you know, Spear and Auraria and I-25 can give the feeling of divided sections of the city here. You'll see the vision for how this really bridges all those sections. So now this will link right over into Lodo and downtown. It'll link directly into the Auraria campus where UC Denver and Metro State is. It'll link under the highway to West Denver. So it really pulls all the pieces of downtown together in what will be, I think, a miraculous end product.
When you think about Ball Arena, obviously sports teams come to mind first, but what is it going to look like with all of these restaurants, businesses, childcare facilities, jobs, opportunities for people to live and work here?
Yeah, we better get on the list now to get apartments here because we're all going to want to live here.
Yes.
And I joked to Cronkies, there's a senior living facility. It's got to be built before I'm eligible for that. I want to be a cool youngster living here, but they got living for seniors, they got young people, they got families, and I think it'll be a place where whether you're just finding your first job in Denver or you want to, raise kids in this neighborhood, there will be parks right by, there'll be schools close by. So we want this to be a full neighborhood, and that's what they've envisioned it to be, and we've envisioned it to be. And I think this is, I travel a lot to other cities. There's not another city in America doing what we're doing here with franchises and city working together to say, let's dream what's possible for our city and for our sports franchises, and this does both.
In that light, can you just talk about the process and to get from just vision to this day?
Obviously, we've been working a lot on the negotiations around how to get all the pieces in place. We've had great community members who've led on these community benefits agreements. But also, this is almost like another downtown. It's the largest project approval we've had in maybe 25 years. And so to say not just, imagine when it gets to approve one building in this city, this is, like 100. But the nice thing is it's done so thoughtfully in how it's laid out, it doesn't feel random. They've deliberately made public parks and spaces. They deliberately made easy access for residents, and they deliberately made easy access for visitors to come in and out. And so we think this is the best possible way you do a project like this, is thoughtful with community partners, with great private sector partners, and then you get a big win-win.
What's the timeline? How do you even start a project this big?
I told them I want it done by next year, so I just want it all done in 12 months.
Don't we all?
Exactly. They have phases 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want phase 1. So obviously, the process will be they've got now approval for the zoning and for the buildings. They'll start developing more detailed plans on where to begin. They'll have a phase 1 that will be likely the east side of the arena, which is from the arena over to Cross Spirit Boulevard. There'll be a bridge. It'll make it easy for pedestrians to walk right over from downtown. So you come down for drinks and dinner, come straight over the bridge. I think there'll be a hotel and some early residential options there, plus a park and an arts venue there. So that'll be early phase 1, kind of think about filling from Ball Arena towards downtown. And then the future phases will work from Ball Arena west towards I-25.
Could you just talk about what it is to work with Josh and Stan and KSC on this big project?
Yeah, we've had such a great partnership with them. We think they are real placemakers. We use that phrase to describe people who care about what a place feels like, not just what revenue you make off of it. And so we love that they both have big vision. We love that they're collaborative, and we love that they're creative, and they're willing to work together. And so we couldn't be more happy about where we've ended up, and we think this will be a great model for the country and for the world.
We're so excited. We thank you so much for stopping by, giving some more details into what this is going to look like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go celebrate. Go celebrate. We're going to bring in another guest right now, Senior Vice President of Development at Kroenke Sports, Matt Mahoney. Thank you so much for joining us. What excites you most about what we just witnessed here today?
Oh my gosh, just a future opportunity for downtown to create really from scratch a brand new neighborhood. And a lot of last night conversations were around community engagement and community support, and that's where I get so excited because we've tried our best to be real intentional about that engagement, and we look forward to bringing it to fruition here.
Can you just talk about the scope of just even imagining something like this? Have you ever seen this anywhere else in any other city? And just talk about the kind of the brain power and the thoughtfulness behind this whole project.
Sure, we've studied quite a bit of other sports-anchored mixed-use districts around the country. This is a trend that's happening. You see it occurring quite a bit. And we've studied districts that are successful, ones that are not successful, and we've tried to bring really the best of the best thinking to downtown, to Denver, and for our site. So, I think what we've learned from those trips and those experiences have really been about neighborhood connections and how do these districts really reach out to the community and pull them into the development. I think taking care of like the game day experience, what you do before and after the game, is pretty straightforward. If you add bars and activation and experiences there, it's really the 24/7 lifestyle that folks would want to live next to an arena, and that's why we talked about childcare. That's why we talked about other experiences that folks can have on property that are really extend just the life of the development.
You also talked about the green space, making it feel like a place where people want to explore and get out and adventure. How did you keep the culture of what already is Denver at the core of this project?
Yeah, in Colorado, we care about our green space. We care about our parks, right? Our open space, our trails, our network, and we have that opportunity here. The South Platte River is at our doorstep. We have the Cherry Creek Path at our doorstep. And so we've been just intentional about let's connect to those, and let's give Coloradans what they want to have. It's green space.
Yeah, and a neighborhood that is a gathering space as well. And when you look at it, one of the phrases that struck me, I think Councilwoman Torres said, building a neighborhood out of asphalt. It's wild when you think about it, but certainly when you're trying to reimagine what a downtown looks like, it seems to be pretty important.
It does, and I mean, I'll mention a green space again. Denver is a neighborhood of parks. If you ask someone, where are you from in Denver? And I'm from Washington Park, I'm from Platt Park, I'm from Congress Park. Well, we have a 3-acre center park in our heart of our neighborhood, and I think that's going to resonate with folks.
What do you think it means to KSE as a company to be involved in a project like this?
Well, I think it reinforces our long-term ownership perspective. When you have a project that's going to take literally 20 to 30 years to build out, we're like, oh, they're in it for the long haul.
As a matter of fact, and talk about kind of the phasing of that. How's that going to look over the course of the 25 years?
Yeah, sure. I think we have kind of our instincts of where we want to begin, and I think folks are getting a sense of that from a crossing at Spear. I mean, Spear is a really challenging barrier for this property, and Mr. Kroenke from the onset has wanted to solve that, and so we're working on a bridge connection over Spear that's a pedestrian and bike only connection there that really will bring the downtown environment, Lodo and Union Station, up and into the property, and Ball Arena into downtown.
Congratulations on a historic day. We're obviously very excited about what's to come around this place. We already have celebrated so many memories here, so many more memories to come. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you very much.
Chris, I mean, where do you even begin kind of with how exciting this day is, with what this place is going to look like by 2050, if that's what we're looking at. But the investment in the city of Denver, the investment in keeping these teams here in Denver, what are your takeaways from today?
Well, first of all, keeping the teams in Denver was a big announcement that was included within this day. But look, I was born and raised here, right? And I've seen every iteration of this as the city has grown, and Denver is just one of the fastest, obviously one of the biggest growing cities in the country. And I think this is important for it to not feel it's a medium-sized city, and it's it's an outdoorsy city, and to be able to connect back to that, to kind of the roots of what Denver is.
Keep its identity.
Yeah, exactly right. I think it's a big deal, but then be ambitious with how you are able to do that. So so much thought has gone into this, and I just can't wait to see it all kind of just be built up. I'm going to be very old in 2050, but that's why I was feeling alive and kicking. Exactly
We'll be
right.
here to take it all in. Thank you guys so much for joining us today to reveal this historic news here at Ball Arena. Happy anniversary. Happy birthday to Ball Arena. What a great birthday present. They're going to be here for a very long time in the city of